Look at the size of this thing. Talk about plenum volume. Jesus. Really good looking piece. It's all hand welded. Oh yeah. Your hub bearing shouldn't be giving you the glut 3000. So I think we've got our placement here. Oh yeah, welcome back. It is a new day here on the all-wheel drive Godzilla swap turbo Tahoe. Here's the deal. Over the last couple days, we've been just getting the front end together and getting everything placed because tomorrow, we've got my boy Johnny Branch coming in. He's gonna build the exhaust and the turbo manifolds for this thing. And you know, we wanna have it all prepped and ready for him and, you know, a nice clean work environment. In the last day or so, I've been putting together the front. We got the new diff in, we've got the new steering box in, new steering arms, although we kind of mangled that one when we were adjusting it, but whatever. So we can sandblasted the spindles here to clean them up and then hit them with some steel. It, you know, it looks good. It looks brand new. And yeah, and so got new bushings and everything. So, you know, this thing actually doesn't ride like crap and flop all over the damn place when we drive it. But right now, the last thing I got to prep before Johnny gets here is we got to get the intake on this thing. And it just showed up today. They have been doing R&D on these intakes for a while. So I'm glad to finally have one. Judging by the box, looks like it's huge. So that's going to be sick. Check it out. Cue up the Doug DeMuro voice. This is the Texas Speed Titan intake for the Godzilla. Now it does say LSLT intake manifold on the box. I'm sure that they just, you know, this is brand new. Now, maybe the boxes ain't in yet. But I'm stoked on this because this is gonna allow us to run this beauty from TIC Performance. Let's get this thing unboxed. Let's check it out what it looks like, and let's put it together with the TIC Performance intercooler. Look at the size of this thing.
So big.
All right, talk about plenum volume. Jesus. Look at that, elbow deep in this thing. Massive. This is gonna give us all of the breathing room that we need. Now, my favorite part is not only that it's gonna be ridiculously huge and basically gonna kill the whole sleeper vibe of this car because I'm basically gonna have to put a giant cowl induction hood on it. Not mad at it though, but so we get to sandwich this TIC Performance intercooler in. Really good looking piece. It's all hand welded and it's gonna allow us to run up to 1900 horsepower in this motor. So we can run all the boost. It's gonna look really clean sandwiched between this. Real quick, we're gonna see how just what this intake looks like without that on, and then we're gonna put it together. So, as you can see, it is like barely like millimeters bigger than where the line of the hood would be. So this is gonna create some unique scenario because this guy is a whole about 3.5, 3 and change. Can't do math, but about 3.5 inches bigger. So clearly that's not gonna fit on here with this there. Yeah, so looks like we're gonna do some cutting and we're gonna hack out this. We're gonna pray we can still keep this guy for the windshield wipers. Don't wanna interfere with that. I don't think it should be a problem, but whatever. Let's get this thing off and get her assembled. Yeah, so this thing looks incredibly massive and totally ridiculous, which is awesome. It's exactly the vibe that we want to get with something like this, right? So check this out. I want to talk about this intercooler really quick because this is a pretty important piece here. They're made all in-house in North Carolina, so it's all American source materials, which is rad. Obviously, it's all billet and it's got the locking O-ring on it. This is an extended core design. Basically, it's a fancy way to say that the core sticks up into the lid. This is a 3.5-inch core, right? But it's only 2.875 inches of added height total. So that's good. Now look, TIC has a bunch of different versions of this intercooler. They got them for like Holley intakes and all that stuff. Obviously, wanted to run the Texas Speed one. One, Texas Speed built the motor and they look sick. Two, the Titan intake allows for this big ass intercooler so we can run this one that's capable of handling 1900 horsepower. So look, the Texas Speed Titan intake has about a 25% larger opening than let's say one of the Holley intakes. So what that allowed TIC to do is make an intercooler with about 25% larger cooling capacity, which is nice. More cool, more power. If you were curious, of how a water to air intercooler works. Notice we have the bungs. So we have these big old AN ports on each side, which, so these are dash 16 fitting in and out. So basically, I'm gonna be running a tank in the rear, right, and a heat exchanger. And what that does is we're gonna be moving water through this intercooler and then pass back to the heat exchanger and then back to the tank where the water, and then it circulates. And essentially, that cold water cools the temperature of the intake charge drastically. And it allows for doing so in like a much smaller package. Now look, I don't have to run the heat exchanger on it because I am going to be running the ice box, but I want to be able to. I think it's a safer way of doing it. Plus, I've got a heat exchanger lying around, so, why the hell not? We got the room for it. It's a truck. Plus, I want to be able to drive this thing long distance, like if we're going to do like a power tour with it or, drag week, any of those. And honestly, the cool thing about Tick Performance is it's a small company. They take care of their customers. Let's say if you have a problem with one of their parts, you just call them right up. They answer the phone. Real human. It's somebody that knows what the hell they're talking about. I love that. So that's the deal with that. Good shit. Obviously, I'm having the man Jameson cut it because he's got a much steadier hand than I do. Oh yeah, nice.
Clearance.
Way cleaner than I would have done it. There we go. So, everything's nice and in. We got a clearance for when we have the 90 or 180 or 160, whatever degree I'm gonna wind up going with. Gotta figure that out. I don't know if I wanna run them inside here, or like run this one in here, or figure that out later when we're gonna run lines. But now, it looks good, looks mean. This is how it's gonna sit. All right. Onward and upward. We're gonna stop for today and basically just waiting on parts now. But did get the starter. Oh shit, I gotta order the hub assemblies. That's gonna be really important because those are absolutely blown out. A couple days ago, disassembling the front end on this thing, we wanted to rebuild it because obviously we're gonna be running some pretty fast times and getting some miles out of it. And we don't wanna be using crappy old parts. Check this out, when I pulled the hub, now it had a little shake when I bought it, right? And I drove this thing back from Las Vegas all the way to LA, basically sight unseen, right? And obviously, look, that's bad, right? You don't want your hub bearing doing that. Look at this side though. This side your hub bearing shouldn't be giving you the glut 3000.
What does that even mean?
So, luckily, it was really easy. Went over to eBay Motors. Look, just put in year, make, model of the vehicle, right? And then everything popped up for this truck. And so, you could get either like the more budget-friendly ones, or you can get the nice ones. I decided to go with the nice ones. I went with the Timken bearing ones. Here you go. It's a direct fit. So, the cool thing about buying parts off of eBay Motors is that they have the eBay guaranteed fit. What that means is you're gonna get the right part the first time. And if for some reason you don't actually get that right part, there's a 100% money back guarantee on it. Another thing is, these showed up in a day. I thought these were gonna be like a week out. Now, I'm sure that has to do with like where we're located, but I did not expect to have them today. So now I can finally reassemble this front end. We get closer to the point where we put it down on its own weight again. Okay, it's a fresh day. We're back here on Waylon, my Godzilla swap two-door Tahoe build. Obviously, we got the man, Johnny Branch, here, and we're gonna be building some turbo headers today. You ready to party? Let's do it. All right, so he has brought all the good stuff. We had a little hiccup last time with some parts in the mail, but our buddies over at Mass Motorsports came through with some flanges. Thank you, appreciate that. So we're gonna build some stuff. Oh yeah, that's nice looking. Big T6 dual 3-inch split flanges here. Nice. What size tubing are we gonna run?
It's all 2-inch straight. The radius options there to make the packaging work.
Okay. And what do you think for placement wise? Like, we just gonna run kind of like some shorties with
forward style, but we're trying to get a little bit of vector, primary link to the header there, so it'll be in this realm right around here.
Okay. Nice. Still have room for plenty of activities too. Yeah. I like it. Well, we're gonna get to work. So you typically have the collector behind, like kind of set back like that?
Yeah, just to get because I have to make, so the hardest tube's always the front one because it's always like going to be the shortest. So I always try to start with that one. I give it some length to get some progress started, and then the back ones, they all kind of fall into place. So the way this will end up being is like, this will probably be the very back tube, and then these two are going to come into line, kind of do this number here. So
Sweet.
there's no firing order sequence we got to follow or nothing on the 4-into-1 like this. It'll be straightforward and basic.
Sick.
So I'll end up shortening that one up a little bit, and then I'll sneak it past that boot to get up in that hole. Cut off like 3 inches of the straight part.
All right, so here's where we are at so far. We got everything kind of like tacked in, but you were saying that you might have to go in and actually like weld some.
Yeah, you can't get ahead of yourself. You got to weld stuff up before you get to a certain point. We're just test fitting now.
Okay.
Until we get to the point where we can't go no further, then I can weld it all up.
Nice. Just basically just bench weld it. Yeah. Cool. So what's next? Do we put it back on and
Get the other side collector in place, and then eyeball them, get them squared up so they look symmetrical side to side, and then lay a couple tubes out, and I can take them, purge them up,
sweet?
ready to go.
Hell yeah. Okay, it's a good place to be in. So, I like what you've done here. We can still use the stock shearing shaft that's right through there. So it's a collapsible, so we can pop that out. So is this gonna be, are you gonna cut that and that's gonna be a
No,
separate?
it's going to be one piece.
Okay, cool, it's
Trying to
still
make it
stay
all-
one piece.
Trying to make it all one piece, yeah.
Sick, so where do we do it from here? Just pop them off, you gonna do some,
Tubes, weld them up, and bring them back, and then we'll start doing the Y pipe into it.
oh, sick, okay. So we're good here today. Hell yeah, dude, excellent work. Only a couple hours?
Yeah,
Dude,
quick work of it.
damn, man. I guess this is where we do like a transition to the next day. Okay, it is a new day. Here's what's up. See, I have the core support sitting on here. So what we're about to do is we're gonna try to figure out where this turbo is gonna be mounted. So Johnny Branch can come finish the exhaust, and now we're gonna actually put this turbo and see where that needs to sit, and then he can make the rest of the exhaust come to meet that. Got the cherry picker out because this is a big bitch.
That's a big bitch.
He's like 54 pounds. So, you know, just holding it in place ain't gonna cut it. So I think we've got our placement here. Looks extra sick. It's a very race car. So this is essentially what we're gonna do. Probably clock this just a little more, get that where we need it to be. But I think this is gonna be where this sits. And yeah, if that, it's not a big deal if that comes down far, because I mean, we'll have, you know, it'll actually give us room for the coolant line. Damn, look at that. 20 minutes. Exhaust, 20 minutes or less. Let's go. Shit. We got the little mock-up radiator in here. The one I'm gonna use is probably gonna be bigger, but this will give us an idea. Got plenty of room, plenty of clearance. Not gonna cook everything up front. This will be coated, wrapped. Hell yeah. All right, so currently where we stand, exhaust is ready. We still gotta do one more thing, well, two more things. Gotta mount the wastegates, and we gotta do the bungs for the EGT sensors. Dude, thank you so much for busting ass on this. You know, this was, I can't believe how quick you made this, but it looks fucking sick. So, on the next episode, we'll be, you know, button some more of this stuff up. We're actually gonna take and, where are we getting this powder coated at?
It's called Rockstar Coatings. His name's Brian Hubbard.
Okay, Rockstar Coatings. We're gonna do something real nice, powder coat this up, but still gotta get the wastegates mounted and all that stuff, but yeah. Move it forward, baby. We need running in no time. Gary, what you think?
This is impressive. Seeing you take a stock truck and put in this hog of an engine in it and what you're doing with it now, I gotta one up you. Or at least, you know what? Get my truck running. We OBS boys in the house, you feel me?
See, now Gary is a full-time OBS boy. Let's go.